Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody is doing well, and today in this video I'm going to introduce you to a few tools from Koken. If you've not heard of them before, Koken tools are a Japanese tool manufacturer established in 1946, and they are renowned for producing specialised socketry such as the three items that you see here, and they produce it in 1/4 inch drive up to 1 inch drive for industries such as the automotive industry and the construction industry. And alongside the sockets they also produce some accessories to go along with this that you see in these three items here. All the items I've purchased are 3/8 inch drive, which is my favoured drive for the work that I do. And in the UK, the main distributor for Koken tools appears to be UK Tools. I've not really found another distributor that holds the stock level that UK Tools holds for these. So in the description box down below I'll leave some links to Koken tools themselves and to UK Tools. So taking a look at some of the items that I've got, we'll zoom in a little bit. So we'll take a look at the sockets first. This one here is a socket for pipe fixtures, predominantly for use on automotive industry and brake lines and clutch lines, where this will allow you to go over the actual pipe work installed in the car onto the fitting, and then you can still use it with a ratchet to undo the fixture and remove it. This one is a 13mm one. I've got a few others of these as well. Pretty good solid manufacturer. There's no sharp points on this, they've smoothed all the curves off. No burrs or anything. Very, very nicely produced item there. So that's that one there. We also have, sticking that away actually, this one here I bought for wing nuts. So a lot of my test connections that I work with on apparatus I tighten down with a wing nut, and sometimes they get jammed up for whatever reason. So I've bought one of these to see if this will help me undo them when they do get stuck. And again, this one is available in a multitude of different sizes to cover off the various different sizes of wing nuts. Pretty much the same sort of manufacture as the other socket. No burrs or anything on this, super smooth. The only thing that I would say is it's not very deep for wing nuts. A lot of times when I use a wing nut I have a fairly long screw head going through, so I may struggle in certain scenarios, but we'll see. So that's that one there, put that away. And finally we have an 8-point socket, and I've bought this specifically for use on square nuts that we use with cable tray work in the UK. That's this little fellow here. So I zoomed in to try and show you this bit a little bit better. This is my square nut on a longer M6 bolt. This is a standard 13mm 6-point socket. You can see it will go in, but the corners of the head of the nut, well, you can see that, are actually on the sides of the socket, so that will just burr that over and it won't be much use at all. So that's that one. 13mm. This is the best thing I've got for a 12-point socket now, other than insulated sockets. 13mm, you can see we're well rattly. That's not going to work at all. 12mm, and get a bit tighter. It will kind of sit in a 12mm, 2 points will, but the other 2 points again don't sit in a 12-point socket properly. So an awful lot of play, but you can get away with a 12mm, 11mm. It won't go in at all. It's too tight. Back to my 8-point socket, and hopefully you can see that goes straight in. No problems whatsoever. No, a little bit of play in there, but you can see the corners of the nut there sitting very nicely in the socket, and I won't be able to round the nut off with using that. There, and that brings me very nicely onto a little stubby ratchet down here, because I've purchased this to use alongside these 8-point sockets. and this will hopefully fit underneath the lip on the tray work so that I can tighten and loosen these square nuts. The little ratchet itself is 114mm long, which is 4.5 inches in old money. Little rubber handle on the end of the bar here, but it's obviously quite thin, and it is a very, very solid. It's just more textured feel, but it seems all nice and good. There's no flashing or anything on that. Chrome finish. The head itself is 36 tooth drive on here, and part number for the wrench, if you want it, is 2725Z. But I will warn you now, the prices are not for the faint-hearted. This will set you back recommended retail price of £65.06 in the UK. I presume they're quite pricey again because there's no real distributors for them, and also import from Japan. I would assume that's putting the money up alongside the brand name. This wrench itself is available, say this one's 114mm long. It's also available in a 160mm long version, and it's also available with the rubber handle or with a nailed handle like the bar there, and it's also available with a flexible head as well. Plenty of options there should you desire it. The only thing to note, the steel handled version is they come in different lengths. For the steel handled you get 75, 125 and 200mm lengths. The rubber handled is only 114 or 160mm lengths on that. They also do a 72 tooth version of this. So this is a 36 version, so it's a little bit of play and movement in this one. But I guess in the 72 tooth version that should be a lot tighter, I would imagine. And also, thankfully, given the price of these, there are repair kits available to replace all of this head, as long as your casting is okay. Or your forging here, however they've machined it, or the drive wheel, the plate here, the screw and the little lever and the port inside are all available in a repair kit. So that's that one there. I also bought this, I call these knuckle bars. Koken referred to them as Hinge Handlebars. Part number on this one is 3768N-300, so this is a 300mm long version, and this retails for £36.98 in the UK. This one is available in different lengths, 175, 250, 300, the one I have, and 400mm length. It's also available with plastic handles as an alternative to the nailed handle, plastic handle similar to this, and also a more fatter cushioned grip one as well. And these are also all available from 1/4 inch drive all the way up to 1 inch drive. The head at the top here, you have a little detent for positioning it in one of 3 positions. You also can buy a spare head for this and work with the pin and the detent ball. So again, if you've just damaged this but your actual forging of the tool is okay, you can replace and repair the head. And finally, we have our little driver here. Koken referred to this as a folding socket driver. Part number on this is 3769H. Retails for £39.98 in the UK. So not so many options with this one. It's available in either 1/4 inch drive or the 3/8 drive version that I've got here, and it's only available with this plastic handled version. There's no steel handle version available for this, and I've purchased this one predominantly for use in motor terminals. So if I bring my little simulator back up and in, and probably zoom out again so we can see a little bit what we're doing. Typical arrangement for a motor terminal box here. Traditionally I would use something like these nut drivers, nut spinners, on top, and you can undo it and spin it back up again. Now sometimes I struggle with how tight these are, and I can't actually undo them with a nut spinner, and I have to use a socket or a spanner or something like that. but with this little fellow here I can use extended sockets or deep sockets, however you call them, and put them on top. I can't undo him, so I can just pull up and it will lever over into a right angle arrangement, which is perhaps a better view for you there, and then I've got more leverage to undo something, and then once it's undone you can put it back up into its straight format and just spin the nut off. And obviously going back and doing up again is exactly the opposite. Spin it down, and once you've tightened down you can bring it to right angled, put a little bit more torque on, tighten it up, and that's what I intend to use that one for. See how I get on with it. This seems to be pretty unique. Teng tools have a much bigger, bulkier 3/8 drive that has a socket arrangement on the end that you can put a wrench into, and you can get more torque that way, and then still have the nut spinner style if you want to. But I've not seen any other manufacturer produce anything similar to this, but I could be wrong. There could well be something out there. I've just not seen it. And the other thing that I do find slightly surprising on this, given that it's a premium brand and the price that you're paying for all this kit, is that they don't come in any branded packaging. You can see at the back there I've been delivered a few stickers for the toolbox and the like, but the actual packaging for the tools is predominantly Ziploc bags, like these two here. This one's got a sticker on it. That's the one for the flare nut socket for the this fellow here, and then this one is for the wing nut socket that I had, just not even got a label on it, just written on. So I don't know whether the distributor gets these in bulk and just puts them into individual bags as required. But yeah, that did surprise me slightly. Not that it matters that much, because your packaging generally ends up in the bin anyway, doesn't it? But I don't think these are overly recyclable in the UK. That might be the Japanese for recyclable. But once you've got stickers on there and stuff like that, that generally stops it from being recycled. Okay, so there you have it. That's just a brief look at some new tools I've got from Koken. As I said, I'll leave links in the description below, down to Koken themselves and the UK distributor, should you want any of this. If you've got the need for a specialist socket application that you're struggling with, it might well be worth taking a look at Koken. They may well offer something. They've got a plethora of solutions out there, but as I say, be prepared for the prices, because this kit certainly isn't cheap, although it is very, very nice quality. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you found it useful, and I'll see you again in the next one.